All right, hello to everybody out there in the land of YouTube. My name is Jonathan McAdam, owner, designer, creator of Start Arts. As always, you guys are all awesome, beautiful, purposed, and worthy. And regardless of what we've been through in our life, God has a plan for every single individual out there. I want you guys to subscribe to Start Arts. Basically, what I'm really trying to do is just share my stories, share my testimonies about recovery from addictions and understanding that we were all limitless beings. And I just want to encourage you to be the best version of yourself. As myself on a daily basis, I am trying to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to conquer, Jonathan's version of himself yesterday and obtain as much knowledge and wisdom as I possibly can to on a daily basis become more consciously aware and more mindful of what is going on around me, inside of me, and in my mind, so that I can continually just keep on growing on a spiritual evolutionary level. And I basically just want to use this channel as a way for me to express myself and things that I've been overcoming and things that I've been learning in hopes that I can relate to you guys, because we all have stories and we all go through difficult times and we all have different things that we do in our lives that we don't necessarily want to continue doing, but we may not know how to overcome things that are essentially, bringing us behind on who we are and what we are capable of doing and the potential that we have. One of the things I had done a few weeks ago or a couple months ago was I wrote a letter to my past. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, I explained a bit of kind of where I come from in respects to growing up in guardianship, foster care, group homes, alcohol abuse, essentially how the lifestyle that I chose to live, due to the paradigms of my self-limiting beliefs of who I was and what I was capable of doing, brought me down an extremely destructive path. But I've been able to go back and I've been able to write a letter to the past and really start confronting how the past made me feel, right? All the pain, all the regret, all the abandonment issues, all the shame, and then coming to an understanding of just like accepting everything that had happened in my past, and then knowing that I ultimately have the decision and whether or not I'm going to live a life of continuous destruction and reliving the past over and over and over again like a crazy person, or come to the realization and accepting everything that the past had, releasing all the negative garbage that I had put on myself, that I had put on myself at the same time. Because over the years of being in recovery and on a daily basis trying to better myself, I come to the understanding once again that I'm in control of how I react to all the circumstances and situations that happen to me in the outer world. But ultimately, it's the inner world of how I react to everything, and whether or not I'm going to just react or whether or not I'm going to sit back and analyze the situation and then make the needed steps and efforts to make wise decisions to overcome whatever is happening in the other circumstances of the world, and doing my best to attain the knowledge and work in accordance to making decisions that better suit a better result, as opposed to just reacting and getting angry or frustrated with situations, or feeling depressed or hurt over what other people have done or whatever thing else has happened. And then so for me, it's like when I was writing about the past, and just I went down deep, you know. I went down to the core of what I thought the past, had done, and how angry I was with the path that I was given, with the cards I was dealt. And again, growing up in that guardianship and growing up in that foster care, and then, putting trust into individuals and then having that trust being taken away, and then feeling so alone and feeling so tired of just living and just existing in a world and just full of all that shame and full of all that regret. But I had to go back and I had to look at it. I had to dig deep down inside my soul and my spirit and go again and experience the pain that I had been through, that I either had put myself through or whatnot, right? Or that I had no control over at the point in time that it was occurring. But it was so releasing when I forgave the past, when I went down and dug deep and went into every dark crevice of my soul and every dark crevice of my spirit, and really started facing those demons and facing those dark times, in the understanding that I had to go back and I had to look at it, and then I had to forgive it and I had to release it and I had to thank it. I mean, if it wasn't for my past, then I would not be who I am now. I would not have the wisdom and the strength and the power that I have, obtained over the past years of, breaking free from, the self-limiting beliefs of who I was, and breaking free from all the darkness that I had been experiencing in my life. I mean, it took me till I was 30 years old to finally put myself in treatment and really start, dealing with all the crap that was inside and all the resentments and all the shame and all of the guilt. But again, it came down to the forgiveness of it. It came down to the releasing of it. But I had to write it out. I had to get it out of my mind and I had to manifest that out onto paper. And then even through my writings and through my prayer journaling and stuff like that, when I'm going even at this point through difficult times, I mean, I'm going through difficult times with my 16-year-old daughter. She hasn't spoken to me in about 6 months. And again, it all comes down to this particular thing is again coming down to, alcohol, drugs, and self-limiting beliefs and stuff like that. But, it's how do I react to it? How do I deal with it? And all I can do in that regard is just send love and just send prayers and, as much understanding as I can, right? So when it comes down into the writing, I find with a lot of prayer journals that I do is I go through the heartache and I go through again self-limiting beliefs, not believing 100,000% in what I'm capable of doing, and then therefore getting depressed over certain situations because I don't necessarily see myself where I really, really want to be, but also an understanding I have to be patient and let myself know that I have to go through certain things in order, we all have to go through certain things in order for us to get to the higher level of who we are and what we're capable of doing. But everything is stages, right? So again, it comes down to the point of accepting the present time. So I invite you to go back into yourself. I invite you to look into your past, to look deep into your past, and to write out all the pain, because ultimately our past also brings us behind, and then we can't be the best version of ourselves. We can't necessarily, you know, do the will that we were put on the planet to do if we are still stuck in lower levels of consciousness. So if we are still stuck in lower levels of emotion, of hurt, shame, guilt, regrets, and stuff like that. So we have to go back and we have to release that and we have to replace all of that with joy and peace and love and forgiveness and understanding and transform that into wisdom and to knowledge and to be able to express ourselves and transform ourselves and transform the idea of who we are and what we are truly capable of doing in this world. And as we are truly understanding who we are and what we are capable of doing in this world, and we transform that energy, and then we express that energy out towards others, and each one for one. So all the struggles that we go through and that we're overcoming in our present time from our past experiences, we're able to transform that and then to be a light and to be a beacon for others that are struggling with the same things. So that's my story. You guys are all awesome. You guys are all beautiful, purposed, valued. Subscribe to Start Arts. I got a lot more things coming. Reason why I have a lot more things coming because I have a lot more growth to do and I have a lot more things to share with you guys in respects to the experiences that I go through. You know, life isn't always rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. You know, life likes to kick in the face quite a bit, and then I find throughout my life when I am starting to experience or starting to learn something, and then life throws really fast, you know, curveballs, and then we have to start dealing with that. But it's not a matter of focusing on, you know, the issue at hand. It's a matter of focusing on resolving the issue at hand in the understanding that it is possible that there is a solution to every circumstance and every situation and every problem that exists. There is always a way out of it. There's always a wise way to go through whatever waves that the world has. So again, subscribe, like, and share the video because you don't know. There has to be, I know for a fact that there's people out there that are going through difficult times that need to hear this message. If I wasn't here to explain the message, then there wouldn't be need to it. But I believe wholeheartedly that we all need to know and understand that we have to keep on going, and our past is only our past. Focus on the present and just be awesome and beautiful as you are.